let's get right to it. 4 days away from Election Day. This is it. I knew we were going to play the final countdown, but it seems...
You knew that, huh?
I knew it. I felt it in the air.
It is spitting. All right, so...
We're talking about the polls, I think.
That's right, and as you can see by the side of the rundown here on the side of your screen, it is one of tonight's talkers. And you know what, you guys, we want you to join the conversation with us. So tweet us throughout the newscast. Use that hashtag 5 at 6:30. Let us know what's on your mind. All right, the latest polls show Hillary Clinton has a slim lead over Donald Trump, but it's a little bit of a different story in some key battleground states.
All right, so joining us right now to break this all down is Cliff Young, who's president of Ipsos Public Affairs. Hey, Cliff, how's it been going? I'm sure it's been a quiet time at the office.
Oh, yeah, we're not that busy at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
All right, what's going on here? We're talking battleground states that weren't battleground states before, but they're kind of getting moved over. What are we going to be focusing on over the next couple of days?
Okay, for all of you out there, if you're kind of looking at the election, you want to know what are those milestones, those indicators. For me, there's 3 states, Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina. The electoral map is difficult for Trump, more difficult than Clinton, and he has to win those 3 states to even be competitive from an electoral college standpoint.
Hey, Cliff, we have seen recently President Obama, Michelle Obama, they have been in North Carolina for Hillary Clinton, but we know they're going to all end up in Philadelphia. Is there something going on there that we should also be keeping an eye on? They're going to end with a big rally there on Monday.
Well, that's a great point. And why is that the case? First and foremost, they're in North Carolina. They think they can take it. It has been trending blue. Once again, if North Carolina goes blue, it's going to be a very, very long night for Trump. The reason they go to or went to or will go to Pennsylvania is that the polls have narrowed there. Trump has been very, very active. He's been really pushing an anti-Obamacare message, and it's had some effect.
All right, so let's talk about those states. One more thing that we got to look at, and we've talked quite a bit about the down-ballot races. So in North Carolina, you have a Senate race. In Pennsylvania, you have a Senate race, both of those with Republican incumbents. Ohio is a Senate race, too. So are these going to be the cases where, as go Trump, as goes the Republicans in the Senate? I mean, is there going to be a lot of coattails here?
Yeah, you know, there's typically more coattails with House races. That's where it goes. As goes the presidency, so does the House, or at the very least, the trend is that like that. When it comes to Senate races, they're much more idiosyncratic. They have much more to do with state dynamics. But the Democrats have a really good chance of actually taking the Senate. Based on our Ipsos forecasting models, we actually think it will go Democratic by a seat or 2. And that's one of the reasons that we have all these top-level officials and politicians going to these states just to push that needle a little bit more for their side.
Hey, let me ask you, what are the chances that we could see a 50-50 split in the Senate? Because I've seen some models that suggest it might end up that way with the vice president, whomever it would be, controlling the destiny.
Very, very high. Indeed, our model is 50-50, 1 seat to the Democrats, but it could go either way. The House, on the other hand, will stay Republican, but we expect, based upon our forecasting models, that they'll lose probably between 20 and 25 seats. So maybe a 10 to 15 seat margin for the Republicans.
Let me take you back to that battleground state of Ohio. It's been said that the road to the White House goes through Ohio. We know Hillary Clinton is planning a big rally and a big concert trying to fire up millennial voters and black voters. As you look at the polls, we've been hearing that, you know, those people are not coming out, the millennials, or not coming out in droves like they did for President Obama, millennials and black voters. Is that what you're seeing? Yeah,
we're seeing the same sort of thing. African Americans, the turnout is down. It's not at historic lows. It's just not as high as Obama. Obama really pushed them up over the last 2 electoral cycles. But millennials, young people, they typically don't show up at the polls, and that's our historical experience. Typically, the average turnout is about 44% among millennials or young people. More specifically, among the older, it's around 60-65. So that's something we should expect, though it's an important base for the Democrats.
Okay, World Series Game 7 went till about 1:45. Well, it was about 1 in the morning. Extra innings. Are we going to see extra innings coming up this Tuesday?
Well, thank you. I'm a Cubs fan. I'm from Chicago. Go Cubbies.
Yes.
Fly the W. Fly the W. I have it on my car and on my house. But it could. But once again, I think we could know very early on what's going on. Focus on North Carolina.
Okay.
North Carolina will be a very, very important bellwether to whether that night will be a Clinton night or if Trump has a chance.
So it's not going to be Ohio like we always hear. It's going to be that North Carolina.
Well, that's where we're thinking. Like, throw in, of course, I'll repeat myself again. We need to look at Ohio, Florida, and North Carolina. Probably Ohio and Florida go Republican. They go Trump. North Carolina traditionally, historically, has been a Republican state. It's been trending blue, and Trump needs it to put together any sort of reasonable competitive map.
When we talk about North Carolina, one issue that came up quite a bit was the whole so-called bathroom bill, and that was a very hot topic. You have a governor who is in the fight of his life right now against the Democratic Attorney General, who said he backs the idea of repealing this bill in the first place. So is it going to come back to the whole bathroom bill argument that may decide these races in North Carolina?
As a possible wedge issue, driving people to the polls, perhaps. North Carolina is a very interesting state because it's been changing demographically over the last decade, going from red to blue. A lot of people coming down and migrating to the Research Triangle, which has a lot of high-tech industry and universities there. But definitely, the bathroom issue could be a wedge issue that drives people out on both sides.
Cliff Young, I hope you get some rest, maybe come next Wednesday.
Yes, I'll be here. Thank you.
All right,
Cliff.
thank you.